Now let's talk about the terror watch list, because we're also keeping track of that. Let's start in 2019.
Okay, so this, Brian, is what a policy looks like. This is what a policy looks like. Fiscal year 2019. And then you can draw a bright line with things changing in that policy and how it grew. Terror watch list.
New president.
Attempts to cross the border, and it is exploding. This is exponential growth of people, and they may have been wanted to get arrested or not. We don't know. These are people that were encountered and arrested who were on the watch list.
The Homeland Security Secretary was asked, once they came across and you got them, what happened to them? I don't know, was his answer. Mayor.
Why do you think they're doing this? Why are they doing this? Opening the southern border, like, you know, we got so many people that came across. We don't even know exactly where they're from. Why would they do this? This is sometimes it becomes very confusing to me. A lot of people say, "Yo, it's to bring in the new world order. It's to bring it all in. It's gonna be a new way of life." They have to be in control. They have to go to war. They have to get us from within. That's what a lot of people say. It's very crazy that it's happening to us, to America, to the greatest land ever known, to Earth, like the greatest system. It's happening to us, man.
The border is wide open. It's not a little open. It's not half-ass open. The border is wide open. There are people right now in the country on the terror watch list, hundreds of them. Folks, there are people in the country on the terror watch list we don't know about. It is suspected by many that some of the people who refuse to get fingerprinted in the country may have been on the terror watch list and are secreted around in cells in the country right now. In case you think I'm making any of this up and I'm just trying to panic you for clicks, which I don't give a shit about. I hope you understand that. I'm doing this because I'm trying to warn you right now. Now, listen, the likelihood of you being involved in a terror attack or a serious crime, thankfully, is still low. I don't want to be dramatic with you. However, it's not zero. And the likelihood of a terror attack happening to someone listening to this show, this is how numbers work for the liberals, is actually very high. Individually, it's very low. And that's what's traumatizing me right now inside, that someone listening to this is sadly going to be the victim of this, and it was all preventable. Here was Peter Doocy on Fox yesterday about an internal Customs Border Patrol memo that leaked out of their San Diego Field Office Intelligence Division, indicating that Hamas, Hezbollah, and others, they absolutely know the southern border's open and are looking to go game time right here. Take a look.
The intel arm of CBP has a new bulletin out, and the headline is pretty alarming. It says in bold letters right at the top, foreign fighters of Israel-Hamas conflict may be encountered at southwest border. The Daily Caller got a copy of this material. It was distributed 3 days ago, and it's about Hamas, Hezbollah, or Islamic Jihad fighters exploiting the porous border to get into the U.S. Part of the concern is that terrorists can see a ton of traffic down there. The new number is 2.48 million encounters in a fiscal year, and among them at least 172 people from the terror watch list. That is 172 who actually came face to face with law enforcement and didn't get away.
Folks, that's the ones we know about. There was a woman being interviewed on Fox this morning, and she made a really profound point. I think you all need to understand that a lot of people who've been in these country, who are legally, who are even been encountered, are refusing to get fingerprinted, or they get fingerprinted and there's no record of them because they come from countries that don't keep. You think there's a DMV database, in the middle of downtown Kabul? There's no record to cross-check. What are you going to do? Go to their Google history? There are people here right now who want to kill us right now. And the Biden team is doing shit. They're doing nothing about it. Matter of fact, they are doing something about it. They're incentivizing it by keeping the border open. Here's the actual memo. Again, in case you think any of this is a conspiracy theory. San Diego Field Office, situational awareness. Foreign fighters of Israel-Hamas conflict may potentially be encountered at the southwest border. Holy Moses, that sounds to me like that could be kind of bad. They've even got the symbols right there, in case you confuse it for like the Mickey Mouse Club or something. Here, check this out. Territories of regional affiliation. Folks, they know. How many times do I have to tell you? They know the deepest fear the Biden team has now is of a terror attack on this soil. Why? Because they're scared about the terrorism? Because they're scared about the political consequences. They know something's going to happen. Now, listen. This is where the show gets really important, okay? Major seismic shifts in politics typically happen, sadly, by tragedy. When I say seismic, I mean mass movements. You all tracking with me? Mass amounts of Republicans become Democrats. Whigs become Republicans. The parties disappear. Republicans become Democrats. These things, sadly, typically happen around tragedy. For those of you who are students of history, I think tragically, sadly, and I hope this isn't prescient. I hope it's reversed. I hope I'm wrong on this. Something bad is going to happen here soon with these lunatics. And I think it could cause a major seismic shift in politics. Think about it. How many people became Democrats after the Great Depression, believing FDR had saved them from poverty, starvation, and death? They believed that falsely. Tons of people. How do I know that? My whole family were FDR Democrats.
Wow. He's cooking right now. Dan Bongino is cooking, man. Wow. If you cause something bad to happen or you let it happen, it's a moment of clarity. Everybody stops. Something bad just happened. Now we all turn to a guy. Who can the guy be? Joe Biden, the Democrats. They're the ones that are going to be in a position to come and help. So they're setting this whole thing up so that way they can come and help. What?
Growing up. It's the only fight I ever had with my grandmother. Not a fight, but disagreement, who I love to death still. The Vietnam War transformed a generation of kids, some of them who felt like they were going to go over to die for a cause the United States wasn't committed to. How'd that impact me? We lost my uncle over there. His name's on the wall, Gregory Ambrose. Changed everything, folks. World War II changed everything as well. The post-World War II baby boom. Stagflation in the 80s under Carter changed everything. A Ronald Reagan landslide, 2 terms of Reagan, another term of George H.W. The Democrat Party was permanently altered after that. Actually, I shouldn't say that. It wasn't permanently stupid. Was altered for a long time, well over a decade. The Cold War, slavery, tragic moments in history that have rechanged the political landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we're in those moments right now. There is a piece that has gone viral everywhere. It's been all over cable. It's been all over social media. Geese in the show notes, right? Bongino.com/newsletter. Stop what you're doing. Time out, not you guys. Maybe stop the stream. No, keep the stream. You need to read it. I'm not your boss. I'm not your dad. Definitely not your preacher. Except Isabel, if you're watching, I am your dad. But if you're not Isabel and Amelia's in school, I'm definitely not your dad. You need to read this piece. It's called The Day the Delusions Died. It's by Konstantin Kisin, who went viral for a speech he gave. We actually played it on the show. Folks, the reason you need to read this piece is because it highlights a book. Joe, remember the book? Conflict of Visions by Thomas Sowell that I've been talking about forever. The book, ladies and gentlemen, the world is going to change after this, after October 7th, and a terror attack that is practically guaranteed to happen in the United States. This is an amazing piece about what's coming. I went to bed that evening as a 65-year-old conservative. But it wasn't really a joke. And she wasn't the only one. What changed? The best way to answer that question is with the help of Thomas Sowell, one of the most brilliant public intellectuals alive today. Yes, we have been talking about Thomas Sowell for 10 years. 10, Dan, your show's only 8 years old. Folks, my first appearance on Fox News with Neil Cavuto in 2011, I cite Thomas Sowell. You can go watch it. It's still out there floating in the video ecosystem. Conflict of Visions is a deeper book about the constrained versus unconstrained vision. That's why it's called Conflict of Visions. Vision of the Anointed is a more readable, digestible book that gets the kind of the same thing. They're both incredible pieces of work. You will read these books and you will never be confused again. Why do liberals allow open borders? Because they believe it's just a governing problem overseas, and these people are entitled to come here for a better life. No, they're not. You're not going to fix the governing problem overseas because people are not unconstrained. Think about any other problem. Western civilization versus the savage. Oh, the savage is the savage because of poverty. Really? It's incredible. I grew up poor. I know you guys didn't grow up super wealthy either. You ever have the desire to go gouge someone's eyeballs out? No, not me. Not me. So weird. No, Joe never had that. Yeah, me either. Yeah, I didn't have that either. Read that piece, man. It explains everything. Human beings are inherently fallible. And unless you manage the horrors they're capable of, and it's not some awful view of the world, ladies and gentlemen. God gave us a world full of beauty and joy. Kids' baseball games, sunsets, amusement parks with your daughter, movie experiences, the national anthem, teardrops at your kid's wedding. But he didn't give us a perfect world. That's got a name. It's called heaven. That's not here. You can manage the imperfections, or you can try to perfect them and get killed in the process. Your choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was crazy. Wow. That explains a lot as to why the left would want to do what they're doing right now. I think that changing the landscape of where we're going is definitely something that they want to do because they want to control that vote. They want to control people's emotions. It's just the funny thing about it is even throughout all the censorship that we experience on this channel, it just seems like it's not really working. Obviously, you still have those people on the left that, you know, they're still preaching what they preach. But at the end of the day, those like me and, you know, many people who have been kicked off these platforms that are very important as we let this ambulance go by, like we're battling, man. We're battling with what we see and what we're talking about that we see. So we're seeing exactly what the change or what they're trying to do or how corrupt they are, or we're literally exposing it. And then next thing you know, some people are either going to prison. I just saw somebody, a MAGA Trump supporter, going to prison because of his speech. Then you got some other people going to prison, doing 60 days in jail, doing a year, doing 18 years. You got all this stuff happening. But at the end of the day, you guys are the reason why we even exist, is because you guys are looking for it. You guys are looking for the truth, even if it's not on YouTube, even if it's on Rumble, even if it's on X, formerly known as Twitter. You guys are looking for the truth, and it's so crazy like that. What is happening? It's all being set up. Like this is history repeating itself, but it just in a you know, the costume it wears today is much different than what it did back in the day. And I think this is just, it's deeper, man. This is a whole operation of how to make people think, how to make people emotional, how to control societies, how to maneuver societies, how to make people do exactly what you want them to do, because you need to keep control of the 9 billion, almost 9 billion people that exist in this world. And what they're trying to do, it just seems like it's deeper. In America, it's like the last piece. It feels like America is the last piece of that puzzle. Got a bunch of free people, as free as we can be at this point, who have their Second Amendment rights, who are ready to go all out and make sure that that never happens. You can't believe in nationalism and be a part of this plan that they have. So we that believe in nationalism, are proud to be Americans. This is why I talk about it every day. I got a guy like, you know, Dan Bongino. I may not agree with him on everything, but I do agree with him on he's been blowing the whistle on what's coming. And it's here already, man. And when this event goes down, because I predict that something's going down, everybody's predicting it now. When it goes down, how would it shape? It's already shape-shifted. October 7th of 2023, what happened in Israel already shape-shifted everything. It already shape-shifted the America, because it showed how many people are here that don't love America. You know what I'm saying? That are willing to throw America away to prove a point. How many people are willing to throw their life away just to prove a point? And if those people are here, then we are in very, very deep waters when it comes to America itself from within. Nationalism is not really popular anymore, and I think that it's showing itself by who's here and who crossed and what's going on. And I don't know. This is deep, man. I may be young, and somebody I got a question for you guys as well. A lot of people are like, America's not in the Bible. Somebody please, is America in the Bible or not? Because I've been looking for it and I can't find America in the Bible. Is America like Roman, like a Roman Empire? Is that intertwined? Somebody please help me with that. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys on the next one.